日本人は怒らないよ。
怒らないでしょ。
怒らない。
ただ怒るんですよ。どうしてまだ来ないのって。
店員に直接言うってこと？
日本人女性でスカートがめちゃくちゃ短くて素足で歩いてる人がかなり多い。
ポールに出してもらったやつだけど、市役所で叫ぶ人がいない。どういうことこれ？
Everyone properly waits until everyone actually got the things to do the 乾杯。
今日は外国人が驚く日本人の我慢強さについて話してみるよ。
Let's find out!
こんにちは、全人類と友達になるとかバービーがミスターウンジです。そして
これです。
アナです。
疲れてないバイロンです。疲れてるの？疲れてない。元気なバイロンですって言ってくれるとなんか疲れてるみたいな。今日のテーマは外国人が驚く日本人の我慢強さ。我慢強さ。
我慢強いよ。
我慢できる？普通にバイロンと一緒にいる空間我慢できてる。我
慢強さにそうするね。
それいいこと。そんなの言ったら
我慢できないやん。
できるか。みんなと話をしていると日本人めっちゃ我慢強くね。
はい。
それは確かに
あるあるよ。
確かに
ね。って思うところがたくさんあるっていうから、まあそれを今日ヒアリングしてまとめたのと、あとインターネットとかからもね探してきたんで、その話をみんなでしていきたいと思います。それでは行ってみましょう。じゃあ今日はね、僕がポンポン言っていくから、それを説明してください。はい。1個目、列に並ぶ。
Okay, so in Japan, when you want to look for a restaurant, what do? You look around, right? You are in the main area where like, there is a lot of restaurants, and what do Japanese people do? Oh, そっちめっちゃ並んでるね。美味しいに決まってる。私たちも並ぼうってなって、飯を食うだけのために1時間ぐらいもう並ぶことがある。You know?
そうですね。
そういう場合では、ヨーロッパ人の場合は、うわ、こっちらへんめちゃくちゃ並ぶね。どっか他だろ？
並ぶだけじゃなくて、なんか文句がないね。
そう。
それが素晴らしいと思うよ。
どういうこと文句がない？
だってまあ、もしマレーシアとかだったら、並んでて、絶対みんな、細いなって、絶対なんか、ちょっと誰がまだって。あと、レストラン入って、食べ物がまだ来てない時も、もう怒るんですよ。日本人は怒らないよ。
怒らないでしょ。
ただ怒るんですよ。どうしてまだ来ないのって。
店員に直接言うってこと？
I have a question. So I know that Japanese people are like, oh, okay, narabo. Okay, and they line up for an hour. What if someone's stomach starts growling? Are they still going to wait? Like, what if you're like waiting and then you just hear,
チェーンソーが中に入ってる。
yeah, the chainsaw of my hunger coming out. Yeah, are they still gonna go like, 待ってます。Really?
一緒に行ってる人が食べたかったら我慢しようかなとも思うし、我慢すればするほど美味しくなるじゃん。
The thing I don't like the first time I ever encountered this thing was I had a girlfriend like maybe 4 years ago or something like that. We went to Fukuoka and she wanted to go to this Mentaiko place, right? And the lineup was like 2+ hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way am I lining up for that, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, いいんじゃない？いいんじゃない？ And I was like, you're out of your mind. Like it's not. Right? And like she didn't seem fussed about it at all. And I was like,
Yeah.
いや僕も2時間は無理よ。
でも逆に電車の時にこう列に並んで待つのがすごい効率的だなと思ってます。自分の国だったらそういう列全然ないから、特に混んでる時には人がめちゃくちゃ多いじゃん。で、自分の国だったらみんながバーンってなんか戦ってる、その電車に乗るためのその居場所を手に入れるために。
どうなるわけ？ここが電車だとして、ここにこう並んでるじゃん、一列で。これがルーマニアだったらどうなってるの
It's just one mob.
Yeah, it's just one mob.
でも早く来た人は一番最初取るでしょ？
しないはずだけど
で2番目に来た人はその人の後ろに
違う海外だったら強い人を先に
I'm coming first time, first serve.
逆に妙に一番飼ってるのがおばあちゃんたち。
まあそう
そう。
And inside of like America, yeah, it's just a warikomu shobu with everybody.
Yeah.
Like imagine, like here's like the entrance, right? And then Japan is more like the legs of an ika. Everybody's straight lines. It's all in the positions. But in like foreign countries, imagine mentaiko. Just right in front, and all these eggs are trying to go inside of that entrance. That's exactly what it is in Kaiga. Yeah. So whichever mentaiko egg is first, that's who's going to go through. The strongest mentaiko egg will go through the entrance.
あなた面白いね。
That's how it is, though, right? Yeah.
でもみんな的にはどっちがいいの？
もちろん並ぶ方がいい。
そう、並ぶ方がいい。
Yeah, but it's just like nobody else is going to do that in foreign countries.
Exactly.
So you have no choice but to be in mentaiko. Yeah, in Japan, that's the only place where like if someone's in line, you can respect that they're going to be in the line.
確かにその海外で明太子状態なのに自分だけ並んだら損するもんね。2個目、寒いのにスカート。
そう。めっちゃ思う。多分男性諸君そこま
始まった。
男性諸君そこまで気づかないかもしれないけど、冬、秋とか冬ですごくもう0度とか10度とか、なのにその梅田とかを歩いたら日本人女性でスカートがめちゃくちゃ短くて素足で歩いてる人がかなり多い。それ寒くない
Not that I'm
の？
looking though, but yeah.
I can sense them.
I can sense that people are wearing skirts, but I don't look.
I've never actually seen that.
I trust you.
And like it's so popular that I've seen those kind of interview channels. So I was watching this interview channel interviewing Japanese girls like how often do you wear skirts and like how do you open skirts in winter like without anything underneath. Like, how do you do that? And the most common answer for that is like, 可愛いから我慢する。
ですよね。みんな可愛い。
ファッションのために我慢するの。
Style over comfort.
Yeah.
僕らはさ、あんまりそのスカート履いてるかどうかいつもチェックしてないからわかんないけど。
True. I don't know.
わかんないけど。
知らない。言われたら確かにね。そうね。
そういえばそうですよ
そうい
ね。
えば。全然気づかなかったけどね。
ヨーロッパとかではスカートとズボンはどっちの方が可愛いみたいなイメージある？
やっぱりスカートの方が可愛い。だからヨーロッパでも夏になるとみんなスカートを履くんだけど、冬が寒いからズボンに決まってるやんってなります。
可愛くあろうと思うファッションより快適であることの方が上ってことね。
そう優先順位が違う。
ああ、なるほどね。僕らはねちょっとよくわからないです。
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
ね、こっちは寒さが我慢できないんで。
次、仕事を真面目にする。
確かに。確かにね。
これ普通じゃないの？
So like in Canada, like say for example, like I worked at McDonald's when I was in high school, right? And no one gave a shit, right? Everyone was just like they slacked off. They didn't really work very hard, and like people at the counter, they wouldn't really treat the customers with like that much respect. But like in Japan, even though it's like I dare I say low respect job or like low impact job, let's say, people still take it very seriously, right? They still treat the customers with like the utmost respect, and it seems like the workplace in these places are always very clean. It's very clean. And like they're always trying their best to make it as like as welcoming of an environment as possible, right? Yeah. And so dealing with customers, for example, in Canada and the US is a very stressful thing, right? Because you deal with complaints all the time.
Right. A lot of people just don't want to deal with people at all. That's the worst thing.
Right. And so even though you have to deal with like horrible customers all day, they still put on a very kind face and they'll like apologize to you if they get something wrong. And it's just a very, very different encounter in Japan than it is, say, Canada and the US.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard to have this, like, gaman spirit when you're just having a shitty minimum wage job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? But, like, even though the pay isn't that good, you're still putting your utmost.
The standard is much different.
You're still putting like you're putting effort into your work.
Correct.
どんな仕事でも、
Yeah.
まあ我慢強さっていうかキープしやり続ける、ちゃんと与えられた仕事、
Right.
確かにバスもなんか時々来なかったりするんでしょ、
Of course. If they're not having a good day, you're not going to get picked up by that bus.
同じことをずっと続けるってやっぱ我慢強さいるもんね、
Yeah. And I mean, I think it also filters into like, you know how Japanese people, they stay with a certain company throughout from graduating all the way to the end, and so they kind of stick it out through and through with being at one company, because like jumping from a lot of different businesses is not seen as good inside of the Japanese workforce, as opposed to some place like in the West, like America. It's kind of like, oh, if you are not suited for a certain job, then you can obviously switch to a different company.
It's like what company loyalty kind of thing, right? Like you will stick with the company through thick and thin kind of thing. That's very much the gammon spirit.
確か仕事で海外では理不尽なことを頼まれたら、I'm quitting, man. I'm not doing that. What are you asking of me?
This is out of my job.
This is outrageous for you to ask me this, so I'm just quitting, like, bye. Whereas in Japan, 理不尽なことが頼まれたら、とりあえず
我慢してやる。
まあちょっと難しいだ、やってみます。はい。
仕事も3年は辞めちゃいけないっていうルールがある、別に決まってるわけじゃない、だからでもみんなの中で暗黙なルールがあって、で3年はどんなことがあっても辞めないって言おうみたいな、
Wow, I didn't even know that was kind of the thing.
はい、次ポールに出してもらったやつだけど、市役所で叫ぶ人がいない、これどういうことこれ、全然わかんないよ。
僕の印象は、まあ市役所というかガーメントサービスに行ったら、まあガーメントサービスでみんななんかね、自分が一般人よりちょっと上っていう感じだから、仕事するときに舐めるんじゃんあの人どうしてこれが足りないのって怒るでしょ。その時にまあ叫ぶことが結構あったかもしれないと思います
あ、そういうこと。役所に用事があって行った人じゃなくて、役所側のスタッフがよく叫んでるってこと？どういうことそれ？
Well, I mean, you have to deal with a lot of people who don't bring the correct documents, right? Because, like, you know, it's a government agency building, so for number one, they're protected by the government in terms of their job, right? So even if they treat people badly, they're still going to keep their job because it's owned by the government. Number two, it's a place where, you know, at the shiyakusho, you have to bring in like your my number card, or like you have to bring in a certain document, and you have to bring these in order to get a different document, right? And a lot of Japanese people, they come very prepared, because if you don't have all your documents, then you have to take another day off, or like it's become more mendokusai to go again, right? So thing is, a lot of people go to the shiyakusho of, like, let's say the States, and they come in unprepared. Like, all right, I'm here to change my driver's license. Okay, do you have your papers? Do you have your birth certificate? No.
I thought you have that.
Yeah, you guys have that, right? You guys are owned by the government. We don't have that, sir. And they have to explain the same story to the same kind of people over and over again, which kind of like cradles this kind of culture where people are just like pissed at the DMV, right?
日本の市役所だったらみんなめっちゃ丁寧で、まあ書類忘れても結構丁寧で説明してくれて、
Right, and they'll give you other options too, right? If you forget it, like they'll be like, oh, by the way, if you don't have this document, you can go to the company and print it off, right? If you have this thing. Like,
everything is like interconnected in Japan.
I actually also had this experience where I was trying to get my Japan driving license or something, and I've missed one document, and then and then she said you can print this at somewhere else. So after you get it, you can slowly come back to the counter without lining up again. But if it's in like Malaysia or something, you have to line up again.
And then wait all this time.
And then she told me in a very polite way, and I was like, okay, I'll do
it. I kind of was shocked when they were willing to help me at the shiyakusho. I'm just like, why are you nice? That's
why are you nice?
Stop being nice to me. Whoa.
Because normally you have to prepare for war, right, with these people.
Why are you nice? Am I good looking or something?
これからは市役所の人に感謝しよう。
I'm very thankful to the shiyakusho people.
はい、次、仕事関係で言うと、残業が長い。
いいことか悪い
I think doing zangyo is like, especially because like the workplace is just like a community or like a team environment kind of thing, that like if everyone is doing zangyo together, it's like you're working together for the betterment of the company and therefore the betterment of like, I don't know, everyone's well-being, let's say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But like that can also go too far in that like no one wants to be the first one to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even though you have technically done all of your responsibilities, there's so much peer pressure, I suppose.
Correct.
That like, if you finish it and you're like, hey, well, time to go, and you're like, you look around and everyone's still working, and you're like, I guess I'll pretend to do something or something.
Yeah.
Right?
So I find myself doing that a lot, you know.
それもあるし、いい面と悪い面日本人からしたらあると思ってて、いい面は責任感が強いんだよね。この仕事を終わらせないといけない、それは自分がやるんだってみんな思ってるから、ちゃんと終わるまでは、頑張ろう、何時になっても、でやらないといけないよねっていう考えはあるんだけど、僕が思うのは残業がじゃあ毎日ありきになって、毎日残業あるから逆にこの残業の時間で終わるようにすればいいかみたいな感じになっちゃう。だからその決まった時間で終わらせようみたいなのがちょっと薄くなっちゃうっていう問題もあるかなと思う。
残業必要があれば自分の孤立がないということですね。
そう、あれ海外の人と多分違うよね。
そう
海外で残業してたら定時内に終わらせられないとか仕事できない人
そう
みたいになるよね。多分。
As in depends on your position。
本当に理想的なのは多分どっちものいい面を取って、この仕事は自分の責任だって思いながらちゃんと定時内で終わるようにして、まあ終わらなかったらみんなで協力して終わらせるみたいなのが一番いいかなと思うけどね。日本人の皆さん、僕も含めて残業なくしていきましょう。はい、次、乾杯を待つ。
あ
りますね。
確かに。
待たないわけ君たち。
I mean, I must.
Well,
I
yeah,
must.
I think most people want to.
I must.
愛待つ。
Yeah, I must. I must for the
めちゃ
kanpai.
くちゃどっちも下手な人。
日本だったら待つ。
I feel like in Canada, States too, like if you don't drink beforehand, that'd be like, bro, you gotta wait.
Yeah. I wait for everybody to come to the table. I'm just like, oh, all right, everybody's together. All right, cheers. Yeah.
おー、じゃあ一緒じゃん。
But the thing that is different, say like they have a lot of customers, or like a huge group, right? And it takes the server a long of time to take everyone's drinks. Like it takes a whole 30 minutes, right? And everyone is really thirsty. If that kind of situation happened in another country, like people will just do like a mini kanpai before the actual kanpai, and like or start drinking, and then when everyone got their drinks, do like another kanpai once more. But in Japan, even if it takes like half an hour to get everyone's drinks, everyone properly waits until everyone actually got their drinks to do the kanpai, and they also don't eat until you do the kanpai.
まあ、確かにそうかもしれない。人が揃うまではもう20人とかでもみんな待ってるこうやって。
And like not only that, there's one thing that I realized that that a lot of people do at Japanese nomikais, right? If the majority of the people go like, oh, namachu, everybody goes with basically almost the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nama. But like, even though that I don't want to drink a beer, like I'd rather have like a rulan. But then you kind of like want to go with like what everybody else is getting because that's easier to do.
Right.
Yeah, and that gaman is also something that you would not do like in the States because I'm like, oh, I want to drink. I'm not gonna think about anybody else other than myself. I'm gonna order. Yeah, I'm gonna order my Virgin Shirley Temple. Okay, like nobody is going to get in the way of that. But then in Japan, namachu, and I'm like, oh, tomato chuhai, and they're like, they all look at me and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like in Japan, you don't want to make everyone wait for you. Like, for example, when you try to decide the drinks and say you are 10 people and someone asks, hi, nama no hito, and like 3 people raise their hands, then another 2, then another 2. And at this point, there's like 7 people that are on nama, right? The other 3 people, they don't want to drink nama, okay? They want to launch or anything else. But they know that if they order something else, it will take longer to get here, and that would make the kanpai also become a bit later. So they do what is right to the Japanese mind and gaman suru on their choice for now in order to make the kanpai happen faster so everyone can be happy.
それはね、 僕も同じ気持ちよ。飲みたいもん飲みたかったけど、もう会社入った頃とかもう絶対生飲んでたよ。飲めないのに生。
乾杯してちょっとだけ飲んで次のターンで。
そうそう。これはあんまり良くないかもね。
でもお気遣いお気遣い。
そうね。まあまあいいか悪いか置いといて、その周りの人
を気にする
心ってことね。
そうね。
ビールの境界にいたと思うね。
ビールの境界。次。
はい。
会話を最後まで聞く。
そうね。
What? I don't know that.
What? What'd you say?
バイロみたいに割り込まないね。
そうです。割り込まないな。
割り込みます。
この二人ずーっと喧嘩してるからね。
してない。
してる。
まあこれはね、会話を最後まで聞くのはその日本語っていう言語につながってると思って。
文法的は。
そう文法的に動詞っていう一番大事なところが文章の最後に来るから。
なるほどね。はい。まあ詳しくはね、日本語の素晴らしさの動画見てください。
いや。
日本語は動詞が最後に来るから、これをすごく美味しいと思いませんかもしれないし、と思いますかもしれないから、最後まで聞かないと意見が分かんないっていうのもあると思うけど、まあそれもあるんだけど、そもそも途中で人の話を止めるってすごい失礼なことなのよ。
そうね。
Really?
あ、彼は知らなかった。だから
道理でね。
だからたまにまあやっちゃってもすみませんって言うんですよ、日本人は。
最後まで喋らせるとこう時間を相手が無駄にしちゃうから、今僕が言ったことが伝わってないなって思ったら、ちょっとすみません、そういう意味じゃなくてとかって言い直したりする。
So if I want to cut someone off, like, ちょっとすみません and then I would be more polite? Like if I want to cut somebody off, ちょっとすみません Yeah, so would I be more polite?
何も伝わってない。何も言葉以上に乗り越えられない壁がある、多分ここに。英語だったらどんな感じなの？
I don't know, what should we talk about? You know, maybe going shopping at Uniqlo. You know, I was shopping at Uniqlo the other day and I was trying to get some, like, what do you call it? It was like
The t-shirts, right?
Yeah, the t-shirts. And then I didn't want, like, black, but, like, I wanted...
Right, are you trying to go for, like the...
I was trying for, like, a simple look.
Yeah, the simple look.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Like, no logo, nothing.
No logo or anything. I was trying for, like, a V-neck or, like, what's the other one?
Like a crew neck.
Yeah, there we go.
なんか心臓が痛くなる。優しさがないな。
No, that's like really chummy. That's like really friendly.
That's a really friendly kind of thing. Like especially if like you're finishing each other's like sentences.
That's like you know like the whole like we finish each other's sentences. Like that's like a romantic thing. Like, you know each other so well that you know what they're gonna say.
Right.
That you can finish.
こういう会話で見たらすごく仲いいなっていう感じなんですよ。
そうなんや。
Right?
いや、ライは全然まだ共感できてる。中国語は
同じぐらいだ。
中国語割り込みそうやな。
そう。
Yeah, every time I do it, like I think like everybody just like I've seen that so many times when I just go straight into the conversation and everybody's face just like get a little bigger.
Yeah, because like very infrequently do I ever see when people are speaking Japanese, like the one person will say, "Let me finish," right? But people in English will often say like,
"Let me finish."
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, wait,
hold on.
Yeah.
だから日本人が会話を最後まで聞くのを我慢できてる。
バイロンにはもう少し日本人の心を学んでる。はい、次。クレーム対応。
確かに。
これは日本でクレームがあったら対応してくれる人は絶対最初から最後まで解決するまでに対応してくれるんですよ。
普通違うの？
普通は急にどこか行くかわからないです。どういうこと？急に対応がどうして反応がなくなったなっていう感じがありますね。
そうなの。
So this often happens, right? Like this is like the meme, right? You say you have a problem with like the internet or something like that. You call like the internet company. Hey, I have a problem with the internet. I want to speak with someone. Well, first you have to go through a machine.
Yes,
yeah. And then you press all these buttons and you finally go to a human. Hi, I have a problem with the internet. I want to fix it, please. And they go, okay, let me transfer you to another department.
Yeah.
No, I just want to do it now. And you put you on hold. For 25 minutes. And then they pick up. Oh, hi, this is from this department. How can I help you? Hey, I have a problem with the internet. Oh, actually, that's in another department. Let me transfer you, right? And they just keep pushing it off.
And then you just lost track. I
don't know why the communication between departments is so bad, but like you'll often go, this is the entry point, right? And then you go to this apartment, and then you go over here, but then you go back to the first apartment, right? So like, why couldn't you have handled it?
And then you have to explain again what happened to you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
I think they're trying to get you to give up.
May most likely.
Yeah, exactly.
So you continue.
But then
to pay
in Japan it's totally different. They actually do something. You can see them do something.
Yeah. If you have a problem, they'll actually fix it for you.
よくカスタマーサービスは E メールとかチャットでするんだけど、どのくらい長くしても全部反応がしてくるんですよ。海外だったら忘れたら忘れるんですよ。
問い合わせても帰ってこないことある？
あるよ。
日本だったら絶対ちょっと今日これお調べしますので、また来週水曜日までに回答しますねって言ったら、水曜日に電話来るじゃん。で留守電になって取れなかったとしても、次の日もう一回電話かかってきたりとか、普通にする。海外だったら。
Well, if they put it in their schedule for my sake, then I am lucky to have a very nice person. But if they forget, then they forget, and I have to call again.
じゃあもう一回自分からかかってこないからかけるってこと？
Of course, yeah. That's my responsibility.
Right.
I have the problem. I mean, I feel like I've had very positive experiences in Japan with my limited Japanese, even on the phone. Like, I think this person was trying to explain, like, somewhere in, like, my banknote where I had to say a specific code to confirm that it was me making the payment. Right? And then I think the conversation went for about like at least like 10 or 15 minutes, but the person on the other line was so patient. Like after I put the code in wrong like 8 times in a row, like she was still patient. She's like, okay, that code's not wrong, but if you can look at the next line next to this person, there's like a star located at the bottom. Please enter that one. It's 3 numbers, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, okay. And this was like the 8th time. And as it went through, she's like, oh, okay. Like, thank you for waiting. And then she was able to help me from beginning to end, even though that I wasn't really like good at the language. And I just think that Japanese people, like, they help you regardless of your situation, whether you know Japanese or you don't.
Really good customer service.
Yeah. Yeah.
はい、ということで今日は外国人が驚く日本人の我慢強さについて話をしてみました。
どうだった？
もっと日本人の人たちに感謝しようって日本人ながら思った。
本当にありがたいよ。
あんまり僕もその同調圧力って好きじゃないけど、そのビールを1杯目頼まないといけないとか残業を他の人の空気見るってのはあんまり好きじゃないけど、でもなんかそれと同じかそれ以上くらいに嬉しいこと、自分が気づいてない生きやすくしてくれてるんだなっていう発見もあって、なんか良かったかなと思います。
Yeah, it just seems like different things are prioritized in different eyes, you know? Like you say like with like your drinks thing, like I want to prioritize what I want to drink. But then for a Japanese person, we should prioritize doing kanpai first, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Nana.
皆さんが思う日本人が我慢強いと思うところがあればコメント欄まで教えてください。それでは次の動画でまたお会いしましょう。バイバイ。チャンネル登録
お願い
し
まあ